After the learning session ended, Phra Ajahn and the novices gathered for Nampana. Phra Ajahn, along with the novices, helped distribute Nampana and medicinal supplements. Then the novices tidied up their utensils and washed them carefully. Some of the novices proposed new ideas to Phra Ajahn on how to save water while they were washing the utensils.
I'm saving water. I use this water to rinse this and then pour it in here, and then use this water to rinse this and then pour it in here.
In the past, the Buddha stated that a monk's hair should not be longer than 2 inches, so Phra Ajahn shaved the novice's hair yesterday. The ceremony of hair shaving is performed on the shaving day, or one day before the Buddhist holy day, on the 7th and 14th days of the waxing moon, and the 7th and 14th days of the waning moon. In yesterday's Dhamma story session, Phra Ajahn told a story about the life of the Buddha. The story was about Upatissa, Kolita, and their attendants, who went to a celebration in Rajagaha. One day, a strange thought came to their minds. They thought, "What is there to look at here? Shouldn't we go seek a teaching of deliverance?" So they both went to Sanchaya, a monk with many followers, and asked to be his disciples. But after they finished their lessons, they still could not find a way to deliverance.
And Venerable Asashi, the last one day he walked in the village very peacefully, like very composed. And then Upatissa saw Asashi walking very peaceful, and he want to know. What does he know? Why he's so serene and very peaceful? So he followed Asachi.
Upatissa asked Asachi to preach a sermon. So Asachi stated a short verse. Of those things that arise from a cause, the Tathagata has told the cause and what its cessation is. This is the doctrine of the great recluse. Upatissa and Kolita understood the Dhamma that was preached to them and became enlightened.
So they said, okay, our master is in Veruwana, and Upatissa, he want to go, but he said, I have to go back and tell my friend. Okay, this is a good friend. So whatever he learned, he want to tell to his friend. So he go back to the Kolita, and Kolita saw him coming very bright. So he asked, oh, you must be learning the immortal Dhamma today. So he let the Upatissa sit on the high place, and then he asked what the teaching of the Buddha. And then he teach the same, and Kolita also got stream enterer. Okay, so both of them become stream enterer.
After Upatissa and Kolita gained wisdom, they went to see the Buddha, and the Buddha made them his left and right hand disciples, known as Sariputta and Moggallana. After hearing the story of the Buddha from Phra Ajahn, the novices had many questions.
Between the left and the right.
What's the difference? Okay, the right side is one who like the ministry, he will giving a Dhamma talk, and the left side is more like a psychic power. He able to basically, the Buddha compared the Sariputta is like the mother who give birth So people understanding by listening to the Dhamma. And then Mokkhalana is like a nurse, the mother nurse who giving the breastfeed the baby so he can grow up. Because Mokkhalana is very good in meditation, very good in psychic power. And Sariputta is good for the wording, giving a Dhamma, explaining the Dhamma. So both are very help a lot.
Then Phra Ajahn told the story of Ananda, who was the Buddha's personal attendant. Phra Ajahn said that Ananda was so incredibly loyal to the Buddha that he could have sacrificed his life for him.
I think when the Tevatatta led the elephant,
The elephant
they want
to kill the Buddha.
elephant to kill the Buddha, but Ananda basically going in to stop. He willing to sacrifice his life for the Buddha.
Once the Buddha passed away, he's not even an arahant yet.
Yeah, he's still the same emperor when the Buddha passed away. So this is when the Buddha got the Tevatatta push the rock down, and then I think they make the Buddha got bruised in his feet, so he can't walk. So he stayed there, and Ananda protecting him, lighting the torch, basically walking around because he's not sure whether Tevatatta might do something else. Actually, Tevatatta also hide the archer to kill the Buddha as well.
Ananda assisted the Buddha up until the last day of the Buddha's life.
This is, I think, the last day when the Buddha walking for Parinibbana. So he asked Ananda that he's so thirsty. So he asked Ananda to get the water from the river.
In the last picture, Phra Ajahn explained that although the Buddha had been enlightened for 20 years, he had nobody to assist him regularly. So he appointed Ananda to be his assistant. Before Ananda agreed to be the Buddha's assistant, he asked the Buddha for 8 blessings. After Phra Ajahn had been telling stories for a while, he posed questions for the novices to ponder and then answer.
Okay, so this is together with the Buddha. So this is the first 4. Why Ananda asked this for? Do you know?
He doesn't want the other disciples to think that he's like the Buddha's favorite.
Due to his loyalty, industriousness, and perseverance, Ananda finally attained nirvana. As the Dhamma story session ended, Phra Ajahn presented the Compassion Has No Boundary lesson to the novices. Phra Ajahn shared the story of the rescue of 13 people who were trapped in a cave in Chiang Rai. People all over the world followed the news and were willing to help them as best they could. Then Phra Ajahn summarized the moral of the story to the novices.
The metta, the loving kindness, is for when you wishing well. Like when you are friendly, you are friend to other people. You wishing them happy. Okay, compassion, karuna. Yes, compassion is wishing them to be free from suffering. Okay, so we need both. Okay, it depends on the people we connect with. If they are basically anybody, you can wish them well, right? But if they are suffering, if you want them to be released from suffering, then you use compassion.
After Phra Ajahn finished the stories, he had the novices practice sitting and walking meditations. If people all around the world have compassion, kindness, and sympathy toward one another, the world will be peaceful. As the saying goes, love makes the world go round. As the novices reached the middle of the 3rd week of their ordination, their monastic practice has become more intense in order to help them cultivate compassion through daily routines and activities. Before sunrise, the little novices practiced a sitting meditation while waiting to do their monastic routines with Phra Ajahn and their companions. The morning chant allows the practitioners to reach Dhammanusati, the recollection of the Dhamma, which can be compared to being in the Buddha's presence in ancient times. Meanwhile, the novices practice suppressing the hindrances and developing mindfulness to prepare themselves for the next monastic task.
ยาตังเยปฏิทานัมเมอนุโมทันตุเตสยังเยทิมังนาปัจจานันติเทวะเตสังนิเวทโย Those who know my act of dedication.
After the morning chant, the novices practiced reciting the 10 precepts, which are normally recited during the evening chant. The little novices prepared to go for alms around the Wat Ba Sai Ngam community. Monks have an important duty to spread the Buddha's teachings, and receiving food offerings from Buddhists is a way to propagate Buddhism. Although going for alms is a daily routine, something in each day is always different. This gives the novices an opportunity to observe, learn, improve on their mistakes, and develop themselves. Since today is a Buddhist observance day, there were more people than usual waiting to offer food for the monks. This morning, people of all ages and genders were waiting to offer alms. For those who don't have time to go to the temple, offering alms is a way to make merit and a good way to start the day. After the alms round, many of the novices asked permission to assist Phra Ajahn. Phra Ajahn let the novices read some books to relax before having breakfast. Today is the 15th day of the 8th waning moon, a Buddhist observance day according to the lunar calendar. Phra Ajahn explained to the novices about the lunar calendar and how special religious days depend on the lunar phase. Normally, there are 4 Buddhist holy days a month, the 8th and 15th days of the waxing moon, and the 8th and 15th days of the waning moon. But in a lunar month with only 29 days, the 14th day of the waning moon will be considered as a Buddhist observance day instead.
We start from the full moon, right? And then it's getting less because the moon rotates around the sun, okay? And then, so this is like it's called one ram, right? You know one ram?
Yes.
In Thai, one ram is like waning moon, and then this is called half moon, right? So this is like the 8th. This is the first one ram first, and this is the one ram 8th, right? So it's become half. Or we call the dark moon or the new moon, right? So it's basically black on the sky, new moon. Today's the full moon. This is another one Phra as well. The moon rotates around the earth. It takes how long? Yes, Jaden?
When the moon rotates around the earth,
Yeah.
the moon also rotates while going around the earth.
Yeah, it takes 29 days and 12 hours and 44 minutes for the moon.
was 24 hours.
That's why today it's called Ubosata Day. Ubosata is a Pali, it's from the word Upa, means approaching, and Vasa means to stay or to dwelling. So we are observing the Ubosata. For the monks, we will do the 227 rule we chanting, we call Patimokkha. For the novice, how many rules you have?
10.
Okay, so today we have the chanting Patimokkha.
Phra Ajahn asked the novices to chant the 75 Sekyavata for the first time. The 75 Sekyavata is a verse which explains the monastic routines and proper manners for monks in 4 parts. It talks about how monks should behave when they go into the village or go for alms, as well as proper manners for eating, preaching sermons, and other behavior in detail.
I will wear the lower robes, upper robes wrapped around me, a training to be observed. I will go sit well covered in inhabited areas, a training to be observed. I will go sit well restrained in inhabited areas, a training to be observed.
While the novices were waiting to have breakfast, Phra Ajahn asked them to do a sitting meditation as usual. At the same time, Phra Ajahn advised them to keep monastic discipline in mind.
Already more than 1 week, you come to be a novice. But if you're not like a novice, you're still not like a novice. Meditation is close the eyes, but you open the eyes and then you're looking around. This is not meditation. And then you speak. So you are the last one who get the food.
Constant practice is one of the learning processes, which is scientifically called the law of exercise. The 12 novices constantly practice the Dhamma in accordance with monastic routines. This will shape them into becoming ones who are adorned with proper manners, morality, and wisdom. After the meal, the novices and Pra'ajan clean the utensils and requisites following the monks' tasks in the Vinaya. The Vinaya is the regulatory framework or traditions for monks to follow, to ignite faith in the people who see them, and to help them stay well organized in their monastic tasks. While washing the alms bowls, Pra'ajan reminded the novices to conserve water and be mindful not to waste it.
We basically save time and water together. Okay, we were starting your second cup. DJ, he came first.
So if I use 4 quarters, this is my next quarter. The next quarter going in.
Even though the novices are now in the 3rd week of their ordination, tying the knots of the alms bowl straps is still complicated for some of them, so Pra'ajan still has to teach them how to do it. The novices also still need to be reminded to take good care of their alms bowls.
Here, do it again. It's not dry yet.
I got help, but it didn't feel like help.
Do it slowly. You're not... We're trying to... Yes.
Done.
No, it's still... See?
Aja.
Do you know why it cannot be this like... Because it becomes rusty afterwards. And we got only one bowl, and you need some donors to offer you this bowl. If you don't have bowl, you don't eat.
After they finished their morning tasks, the novices walked in line to the water pavilion for a new lesson.
Okay, if we have respect, then even though we want to talk, even though we want to run, we try not to because that's not in life. You know, we want to be a samanera.
My body, speed, or my.
We want to have to restrain our body, our speech, our mind.
Along the way, Pra'ajan had the novices learn the Dhamma from Ajahn Chah's teaching plaques.
Okay, for example, somebody say, I can't change, this is my habit. Okay, is that ignores uncertainty?
Yes, because it's possible.
Because everybody is possible to change, right? Nobody have a fixed habit, right? Somebody have a habit of waking up very late, right? Like Aarti, you want to wake up at 6 in the morning. You think you can?
At home when I don't go to school, like Saturday and Sunday, I wake up at noon.
So is that certain?
No,
Yes.
It's certain?
No.
It's a habit.
But
it's a habit.
But it's formed. So it's formed somehow. It can change, right?
No.
Uncertainty follows the 3 characteristics, or the natural laws of all things. These consist of anicca, impermanence and transiency. Nothing lasts and everything decays. Dukkha, the state of suffering or being oppressed by rebirth, disappearance, and change. Anatta, soullessness, or the state of being a non-self. The tranquil atmosphere of the forest monastery helped the novices to be calm and peaceful, without any anger or nervousness, which is essential for physical peace.
If you have time to breathe, you have time to meditate,
You
right?
have time to breathe.
You have time to breathe?
Yeah, because breath is without E.
Oh, okay.
No, breathe.
Breathe.
This is correct, but if it's breath, it's without an E.
Okay. If you have time to breathe, you have time to meditate. Do you have time to breathe?
Yes.
In order to be ordained, one has to begin their path with faith and prepare to face sufferings, to know those sufferings, and to eventually overcome them.
Read out loud.
But to know suffering,
No, louder.
we don't become monks to eat well, sleep well, and be very comfortable, but to know suffering and how not to cause it.
Okay. Let's start.
Yay!
The Buddha's teaching is based on the truth of the uncertain rule of nature. After the novices learned about Ajahn Chah's teaching, the next lesson began.
Okay, so tell me which Dhamma that you write down that you like the most. Okay, Bin, which one? And explain me the meaning of it.
We don't become monks to eat well, sleep well, and be very
Become a novice.
comfortable, but to know suffering and how not to cause it.
Okay, so how do you understand it?
So you don't come here to sleep and eat well, and you don't come here to suffer. You just come to practice to be peaceful.
The truth of suffering is the first principle of the Four Noble Truths. Suffering is what causes physical and mental uneasiness.
Like if you want to go to the toilet and the Ajahn doesn't let you go, is that suffering?
Yes. Like right now, I need to go to the toilet.
And what is the cause of that?
I'm not going to the toilet before.
Yeah, because you're not preparing yourself, you're not
Drinking
going to
too
the
much
toilet
water.
before.
Drinking too much water.
Today I
haven't even drank water yet.
Drink too much water and what else? Well, how about the fact that we have a body?
I draw the wrong of
Well,
Jeffs.
we have a body, this is the nature of the body.
Before the lesson, Pra Ajahn had something to foretell the novices.
Who it is?
Lumpuman, right?
Ajahn Chah.
This is Long Pu Cha.
Ajahn Chah's teaching is profound and simple, which allows many people to gain faith in him. Pra Ajahn started the lesson by reviewing Ajahn Chah's teaching.
What is the meaning of it? Is it touch your heart when you read all of this Dhamma?
Yes.
Okay, tell me in what way and which one that you like and why do you like it?
The one is any speech which ignores uncertainty.
Okay.
Uncertainty is not the speech of sage.
Oh, what is the meaning of it? Why do you like it?
Because it's talking about speech and action of a human and how the consequences of sage.
So Long Pu Cha always say like ไม่แน่ uncertainty, you know. Everything is ไม่แน่
Everything is not perfect.
Yeah, it's imperfect. It's always changing all the time, and you can't control it. So this is the word of the sage.
Each novice preferred a different teaching of Ajahn Chah.
JL, which one do you like and why?
When those who don't understand the Dhamma act improperly, they look around to make sure no one is watching, but our karma is always watching. We never really get away with anything.
Oh, very good. Okay, I like that too. Why do you like this one?
After the learning session ended, Pra Ajahn had the novices do a sitting meditation to review the Dhamma they had learned. This afternoon's learning session was full of the teachings of Ajahn Chah, the founder of Wat Nong Ba Pong and many other forest monasteries in Thailand and abroad. Ajahn Chah's teachings were derived from the Dhamma of the Buddha, which is about the truth of life and being worthy and conscious at all times. Today's learning process session was based on a series of scientific experiments. Bolde Irisu, a Guinean scientist, was the instructor for the afternoon session. Jack and Hunter also observed this activity. Bolde began by having the novices choose 10 different kinds of leaves and told them to use a magnifying glass to take a closer look at them. The novices quickly shared with Balde what they had discovered.
What did you see here?
They are all different.
Very good. They are all different.
This one has white hair in the edge.
Okay, very good. So, which means it is different from this, right?
Yeah, and both of these have little hairs all over.
Okay, but do they have the same shape?
No.
Very good.
Balde handed out small containers to the novices to keep the leaves and filled the containers with alcohol. Then Balde taught the novices about the law of reflection by letting them throw ping-pong balls at the board. The first one was thrown with less force, while another one was thrown with more force.
Are we ready? Yes. 1, 2, 3, go! How was the second one different from the first one?
When you throw it, it reflects back.
Okay,
and
very
it
good.
throws it away.
And it comes back to you.
Yeah, and then the first one, you throw it a little bit.
Okay.
And then the pressure of it just push back a little bit.
Very good.
Balde gave an explanation and compared the results with moral lessons that could be learned from the experiment.
When you put a ping pong ball, when you throw it softly, you see what came back to you, right? But when you use all the force in your body to throw it, what happens again? Some of you even got hit on the face. Yeah. So it is what we call action and reaction.
For the next activity, he let the novices try making rockets. This activity surprised them tremendously.
Oh, can you hold it too? Don't do anything, just hold it.
Just hold it.
Hold it.
Still.
Looks like bacon.
Okay, now you are going to flip the two and put it upside down, and then you move away completely.
Okay.
Now go. 1, 2, go. Okay.
The experiments continued as Balde had the novices do new and unfamiliar things.
Okay, 1, 2, go. Boy there. No need to run. Don't touch it, it's very hot.
Then the novices got to play with a sound tube. Balde explained that they had to swing the tube slowly at first, adding more speed as they went on.
So come on. Come on, faster.
Balde gave a further explanation to the novices about the result of the experiment.
What if I cover this side and there is no air going in? Let's see, let's try.
Let it go.
You see? Did you hear any sound?
Can you try and do it the hardest you can?
You see? So, if there is no air going in, there is no sound. So, indirectly, it means also if you don't do something, there is no what? No result.
The last activity required the novices to be mindful and calm in order to do the experiment. Balde demonstrated, then let the novices try doing it themselves.
You can do it! Come on. Hold this one. Okay, use this one. Oh, you need to do is place this one on it. Wait. You see?
Wait, how do you bend it though? How do you bend the paper?
You can use this one. You can use this one. Just slowly. Don't shake the water. And then let it, you see? So use this one. And then slowly remove. Okay, good. You see, that's how to do it.
Then Balde added some liquid soap and let the novices try placing the paper clips on the water once again.
When you put soap inside water, it separates hydrogen and oxygen.
Can you try and put
You know water is made of hydrogen and oxygen, right? So when you put soap, they go away from each other.
Okay.
And you break the surface tension, so it is never going to float again.
Before the end of the class, Balde returned the containers of leaves from the beginning of the class to the novices and let them observe the changes that had occurred.
Can you see?
Yes.
What color?
Brown.
Okay, brown. So it means that the alcohol is already extracting what? The DNA. You can keep it for some time, and then later you see.
After the class, the novices thanked Balde for sharing his knowledge with them.
We learned lots of things, and we learned that science is really close to Dhamma, like how action and reaction, like how the Buddha teaches us that everything that we do, everything will come back to us, no matter it is good or bad. Thank you a lot for coming all the way to teach us here. We're really grateful for the things you teach us. Thank you.
Pra Ajahn concluded the lesson with the morals and Dhamma that the novices learned from this afternoon's session.
So a lot of things, Buddhism is about sign of the mind is even more refined than this. Okay, so we learn a lot from this thing. We can see it very clearly. But when we meditate, this is more refined. So that's what we try to learn. Try to bring everything together. The meditation is the peak of the experience. Is very blissful and happy, but it needs a lot of patience. You have to keep a lot of virtue and sila, or the precept have to be impeccable.
As the week of love draws to a close, the novices have learned new lessons which have become more challenging. These lessons are ongoing and still waiting to be explored.